Thank you guys for being patient. We'll see. I'm gonna see what it's looking like over here. I don't know if I'm gonna do this or if I'm gonna sit in there with the heater. Oh, I think that sound will probably be. We can get some beautiful rays. Look at that. I think we'll do this. Okay. All right, you guys, just give me 1 second to get a seat and my camera stand. So, sorry for having to look up my nose here. All right. Ugh. Bird poop all over this thing. Okay, let's see. How am I going to do this? Because this thing, I don't think this thing goes high enough. No, it doesn't. Oh, hey, there's a little table. I can use that. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for being patient. I can use this little thing right here. And good morning, Sama. Good morning, Becca. There we go. That'll work. All right. Okay. Hello, Yvonne. Okay, I do think this is probably going to be good. I don't think it's going to be too cold, so we're going to try it. Plus it's nice to actually be in the sun. It went from having thunderstorms, thunder, lightning, pouring down rain to now it's really cold again. Okay. We got too much stuff. Too much stuff. All right. I guess just enough. Just enough. Oh, cool. I can set this stuff right here. All right, so you guys let me know how the service is, if it's picking it up okay. Don't think I'm gonna need that because the sun's pretty warm. So yeah, just let me know how the reception is. I'm facing and pretty much sitting where I would be sitting if I was in the cabin. So I'm hoping that it's okay. Okay, good. Thank you, Becca. So I hope everyone is uh thank you. Yes, it feels great. It feels great. Um I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone is feeling pretty good. Um so really the main thing I just want to reflect upon before we go into this is that what I've received thus far is in connection with the violet flame emissary. And so I do feel like we're going to have a lot of purification happening today. The nervous system, again, the nervous system and the blood, these are our most powerful gateways in our body because they're tubular, they're channels, and so we have a lot of information that passes through the blood vessels, through the arteries, and through the nervous system, whether it's the parasympathetic nervous system. It regardless, it's this these highways where energy is moving, and the energy is traveling, carrying. This is something I was reflecting for Selma in the group a little bit ago, but the information that is carried is wholly dependent upon um, our perception, what we believe of ourselves, what we believe of the world around us, and because we're so used to meeting ourselves and the world around us through the connection of the illusion, through the glamour, right? Meeting the image. We're so used to meeting this image that we have created. We've created an opinion and based our the entire experience around this opinion. And this opinion is creating the reality, right? So we have these systems of belief, and those systems are also being carried through the nervous system and through the blood. And these, a lot of times we don't even realize until we're able to see it, right? We don't even realize what it is that we've created or what it is that we are creating, because in every single breath we're manifesting. Every single breath. Every single breath that we take, every single moment, we are energetically, vibrationally moving. We're meeting ourselves in a reality of creation that we have provided for our own experience. And so, one of the things, and I'm really grateful that you actually reflected upon this, Yvonne, was you were saying that when we scan out, we're looking at the bigger picture and how we've each of us has served and is serving on a multitude of scales, on a multitude of levels. Then what are we doing here? If on a universal scale, on a cosmic scale, if we're looking at the progression of ourself through time, if we're looking at the way that we have served, and like I said, many different ways. Service doesn't always look how we think it's going to look. And service also isn't objective or subjective. It's not a title. Service isn't what you do. That's not service. Service is who you are on a vibrational level. It is the opinion. I'm sorry, it's not the opinion, it is the choice. So when you're operating from opinion, you can't serve because you haven't you're not vibrationally aligned to truth. You're just providing information. Okay? However, if you are the vibrational existence of something that you have experienced, and then you just are speaking and expressing from that space, that serves. But it's either serving, and now it can serve to teach, even for myself, where I've moved out of, and as I'm consistently moving out of layers of ego and understanding ego in its relationship to spirituality, in its relationship to being in service, which means being in the service of a higher choice. Um, every single moment I'm understanding and I'm discovering that, it's what I thought it was a week ago is completely different. What I thought it was a moment ago is completely different. But that's okay. It's okay. And that's exactly how it's meant to be. Because if I were to remain cemented in an opinion, or if I was to remain cemented in a reality that was defined by one moment, then I would never be able to move. Not truly. I mean, even though on a molecular level, vibrationally, we're moving, I would not be able to see the movement in my external reality. I wouldn't be able to see the movement internally, how I feel, because I would be frozen. I would be stuck in this perception where I'm meeting myself in an image that I've created based on an opinion that I formed, right? And this one has been really, really important because I feel like it's one of the biggest factors in what has been creating such resistance through everyone. We saw this yesterday in Becca's session and Becca's one-on-one. The perception, whatever, like when I'm speaking something, right now you're either in that experience because you are choosing to vibrationally honor the doorway that is open and available and step through it and have the experience yourself, or you're receiving the words and you're just creating an opinion around it, what you think that means, which creates a reality around the opinion, which isn't what was expressed. What was expressed was a lived truth and it was reflected. However, if the opinion is created, then the resistance is going to be pretty intense, because everything that you're receiving is in direct, it's at war. You're receiving something and it's like, okay, either that is going with my opinion or it's going against my opinion. Either I'm not doing something right or I am doing something right. And so then the only time you're going to really want to show up and connect is when you feel like you're doing something right, because you have yet to live the truth that was reflected. Now, of course, the truth that's reflected through me is my truth. It's my lived experience. However, I've also lived and experienced from the spaces that I reflect for each of you, which is the only way that I'm able to be the mirror in that space. But I'm also still learning and I'm still growing and I'm still expressing and sharing, and I'm learning from my own self-realizations where I thought I was serving from a reflection, but I really wasn't. I mean, it was serving, but it wasn't serving, not in the way that I thought it was, right? So, which means in that moment, I had lived some of it, but maybe not all of it. So it's been really, really powerful to see just how that one moment where we hear words and we take those words and we define them through an opinion or what we think it means, instead of choosing differently, instead of asking to receive clarity. This is also what I see happen. There is an opinion that's formed. Instead of consistently communicating that maybe, what I heard was this. Is this what you meant? Now, obviously, I can't define what I mean because it's an expressed lived truth. But what I can provide is a further lens that will open up a space within you for clarity. And so if you don't communicate, then you remain in resistance, and it's always a war of right and wrong, good and bad. You're always going to be fighting and battling the opinions. And that would be the perception of what's shared through me as an opinion, right? And I know we've gone through this a little bit, and I've reflected it, but this has been a really, really powerful, really, really powerful opening. So, it's been, for me, it's been a really wonderful experience to move through that perception and that understanding, and to see what that is and what that means for myself and for the group, and how that's been operating through those in the group that were running from opinion, that were running from opinion, running from what they thought my opinion was, and running away from what the opposite of what they deemed to be right was, right? Like, or opposite of, if this is what I think is right, then I don't want to do what's wrong. And so I'm going to run away from what I think is wrong, and I'm going to trap myself, and I'm going to put myself in a cage. And then it feels very restrictive. And then it's like, well, I don't know if I want to do this path. I don't know if this path is for me, because this path seems very restrictive, and it doesn't feel good, and it doesn't seem fun. But of course, that's simply because instead of choosing to step through the doorway and allow a different experience, which is all this entire path is about, is different experiences. An opinion was formed, a reality was molded, and a perception was held, and that moment became stuck in time. And this is how time is manipulated. It's how time is distorted, is because instead of allowing the energy to consistently move by stepping through different doorways to say, okay, well, let me try something different, because nothing bad happens when you step through into a different experience. You don't lose anyone, and you don't lose anything. What you are able to see is how what you thought, the opinion, what you thought you were losing, was really just an opinion. That's all it was. You're just letting go and dissolving this image you have created of what you think is being said. And so really the only thing that you're losing is that image you've created. So it's been really, really powerful to see this and to allow this to be experienced. I'm truly, truly grateful. And yes, thank you, Yvonne, for what you have reflected. Um, and it really, that's been probably the biggest point of deepening for me, is that service isn't defined. It just, you are a vibration, and that vibration is able to serve because it is open, and it is accepting, and it is allowing a consistent flow of that higher consciousness and super consciousness as the vessel of that which is choosing to serve. And so it's, it in that vessel is that connection to consciousness is choice. It's also choice. So again, it always comes back to the service of choice. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, if anyone, before we get into this, does anyone have anything that they would like for me to reflect upon? Do you have anything that's here that you would like for me to speak into? Because I do feel like, being able to go into that here does make it easy. And we'll take a moment and just feel into and see if there's anything coming through. So I'm hearing the desire to have. Okay, so I would like to reflect, and I hope this is okay, Becca. Please let me know. I would like to reflect a few things from your one-on-one yesterday, and where, just to, so others can have this in case it's necessary. And I'm also going to expand on a little bit, but one of the things that Becca was reflecting was where there had been a lot of shame and guilt and judgment in relation to having a partner, and also just monetary experiences, feeling like, of course, there was a perception of what she thought ascension was and moving into higher timelines, but there was this part of wanting to get a pool. And of course, there is money that goes into that. And one of the things that came through was, the opinion that was formed around monetary wealth and the material, right? Because you all have heard me speak into how on the path of mastery, you're moving away from the need of material and the need for the lower desire based. Now, I want to just reflect a little bit deeper on what this means, again, just in case this is coming up for anyone. If you're feeling resistant to exploring experiences with your money, please, please, please give yourself, always, 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 always remember, your money is your energy. It is there for you to exchange in whatever way you so desire. What I am always speaking into is, first and foremost, what's here now, and also the progression of evolution that comes from the space of mastery, which means through time, there is a progression where we can manifest and without the need of money. Because money, we have to remember, money was created to give us an easier accessibility for just exchanging goods and services. But it's a middleman. That's all it is. It's a middleman, if you will. And so eventually, and it's even, we're in the process of everything transitioning, eventually that middleman is going to be removed, and it's simply going to be, you manifest. That's all. You manifest, meaning it's there, it materializes. So, but of course that comes from also being able to manipulate matter in a higher way, manipulating matter through light, right? Which is exactly what we're working through. So while you have the money now, when I speak about not being consumed by people, places, and things, it means it's through the lower desire base. It's through the lower Dantean in a way that has to have it. And therefore, I have to have this item or else I'm not going to enjoy my life. I have to have this person or else I won't feel like I am complete. I have to be able to go to this place or I won't be able to experience what this place offers because I can only get it in this location, right? And so therefore there is again an image that is created, and therefore you have to have whatever that image is so that you can feel complete and whole. That's a lack mentality. It comes from an unstable root, and that's where everything is built upon. And since everything in mastery is about strengthening and unifying the lower into the heart, if you have an unstable root and you're still wanting things, then of course the reflection is going to come through and invite you to disconnect and redefine how you choose to perceive what it is you think you need. Because again, it's an image. You've created something and you've defined your world around it. And if that is the case, you don't lose anything, you only lose the image. So if you do want to, if you have the money and you want to indulge and you want to spend things, of course, always allowing there to be an understanding that your true joy isn't found in the material items. You should be as happy with no money as you are with a bank full of money. And if you cannot be happy if you cannot hold and maintain a state of peace and balance, regardless of whether you have money or not, then you have a reality that is defined by the need of money. I'm not even in terms of survival, because your survival is not dependent upon money. Your survival is dependent upon your mentality. And so your mentality determines how that energy comes to you and how it exchanges through you. And so this is, again, wealth is one vibration, but it's not abundance. But wealth is a vibration you can access. You just want to be careful with having too much all the time, because then if something were to happen and that was pulled out from underneath you, your entire world would crumble, because the world that you have created is defined by the money. And so this is speaking, I've gone from being completely homeless, having nothing just 4 years ago, living in a car on the streets, having no food, no water to drink, not I had to use the bathroom in the woods. I mean, I didn't have the things that most people have the comfort of having, right? So no toilet paper. I had to drink, like I've told you guys. So, but I was also, even though I was living in fear of my life a lot, I was also content. I didn't have a phone. I was content. I didn't need those things, because the things that were necessary were really the only things that were necessary. So we tend to get overly consumed in material items, and then we define our existence around them. Now, does this mean when we do have money that we don't enjoy it? Of course. Buy the things and have the fun. Just don't get caught up and consumed with your entire existence being defined around it, because there are realities where you have a consistent stream of everything that you need, but you can only get to that reality when you're not consumed from a space that is dependent. Okay, that type of reality is where everything flows in and out. It's just energy and everything is there to support. But again, a lot of people connect to the vibration of wealth and not abundance. So now, with that, in terms of people and relationships, because this has come up, remember that when I reflect to someone about a relationship, It's wholly about, it's dependent on where you are in that moment, and it's also dependent on what is the highest path for you, so that you're not so absorbed and consumed with the need of another person, because that's really what it's all about. Okay, it's not about you never having a partner, and it's not about you never having someone there for you, because if that's there for you, that's there for you. You manifest it, you create your reality. So if you live in fear of not having, then you also have to realize that you're the creator. If you wanted to magnetize someone, you could. And if you feel like that goes against mastery, it's showing the opinion that was created around what was reflected. As you progress along the path of mastery, the lower basal desires are not controlling you anymore. So you just don't, it doesn't come up. Like for me, it just doesn't come up. It's not something that I need. I don't feel like I need it. It's not, for me anyways. Now I understand that's not for everyone, but for me, as I progressed along the path of focusing on me, I just, it doesn't consume my time or my energy. But I understand that it does for others. So if it's consuming time and energy, then it's negating, it's pulling down, it's pulling you down. And that was the whole intention of the reflection to begin with, is so that you could receive a reflection of a doorway that would allow you to step out of the pulling down into the rising up, and then allow yourself to continue to rise, coming into the heart, and then whatever is there is there. But we don't concern ourselves with what's there. It's not the end result that we're focused on, it's the journey. And if you're so consumed with what you need, and I need this, or what if I can't have that, or what if I can't have that, or what if I need this and I can't have that, then you're trying to control the outcome, and you're not enjoying the journey, which means you become a victim of your own reality, and you're a victim of your circumstances, and everything is happening to you instead of through you. And everything shifts if you can just give yourself an opportunity to accept what is reflected as exactly what it is, which is an invitation. It's just simply a doorway. Would you like a different experience? Okay, walk through the doorway. If you don't want the experience, then you disregard the reflection and you remain where you are. That's all it is. Okay? Everything now, of course, now I understand the intensity of the reflection and how it's come through. That's why I've pulled back, because everyone, I like I said, I had to realize that even though I could see where everyone is able to move and vibrationally align to, where they're not stuck in the codependency and the victimhood, I can't place you there. And I was more concerned with wanting people to be there than allowing people to honor whatever it is that they want. And if you really want that lower desire, then allow it. It doesn't mean that the path doesn't unfold before you. The path is just the path, and it's your path, and you walk it, and your path to mastery is going to be as far as you master yourself. If you don't give yourself an opportunity to master yourself, then it's not like you don't have a path. It's just that you're not allowing a different experience in. And that's all that mastery is you're not doing the same things all the time. You're learning, and you're allowing yourself to grow. So I do hope that this assists and serves. I know that these are things that that we have reflected on. Okay, I want to try. You guys, let me know if this actually changes my voice. Does my voice sound different? I just popped up where it said I could use a voice changer. I don't know how it sounds. I'm going to switch it back, but I was just curious if it actually makes my voice sound different. It's an echo. Okay. It's supposed to be like a ghost or something. Yeah. There's a couple of ones. Okay. I was just curious if it actually did it. Oh, wrong button. Okay, there we go. Cool. Thank you guys for letting me know. So all of this I'm reflecting because, as we move forward and as we continue this journey, we're going through these daily activations, or they should be daily whether I bring them through or not. And going through these activated states. The activated state, as everyone knows, assists and serves when you are a conduit for those vibrational tones. So if you're still cycling and you're still looping and you're not an open vehicle and vessel, which means your reality is defined by the illusion, the glamour, and the Maya, then this reality that is coming in, this new creation that's coming in, you're not giving yourself an opportunity to access it. It doesn't mean it's not still showing up through you. It is. But if you consistently go back into the opinions of the reality, or the opinions of yourself, the opinions of others, and the images that you've created, then everything that's coming in can only serve you, really, in these moments. It doesn't mean, well, no, I don't want to say that. It is serving you in every moment. You just might not be aware of it. And the way to really harness and experience the continuation of what we are about to begin is to move through and honor the different experiences. Because everything that's coming through, my dears, these activations are gateways to a consistent, it's in every single moment we know this, we're manifesting, and we're manifesting differently. Everything that's here and everything that's coming through is giving us an opportunity to match this higher magnetic vibration and to layer, and it's pulling us. Everything is pulling us, and anything that's heavy, just like when we go through these gateways, it can't go with us. So anything that's too heavy is going to be vibrationally pulled down, and it's going to be rearranged. So if I do feel that everyone is still manifesting themselves into a higher reality, no matter what that's happening. But in those moments where you feel frustrated, in those moments where you feel fearful, in those moments where you go into a space of aggression, anger, judgment, shame, guilt, then you pull away from the true reality. You go into the opinion. You've created an opinion of judgment. You've created an opinion of shame. You've created an opinion of doubt. And you go into that reality and you pull away from the truth of what's here. What's here is always vibrationally in balance. Always. And I can tell you that since I opened myself up to just accepting, that I'm talking about, I really thought I was accepting until I landed, and this happens every time, until I landed to where I'm at right now. And I found this very beautiful, what Mina reflected in one of her messages. She said that in the last live, when I was speaking into things, it felt and it sounded like it was coming from a different place. It was different. It was, she said the way that it flowed was different. It felt like it was coming from a higher place. And I want to take a moment and honor that reflection, because I feel it as well. I yesterday I was just sitting there and I just started crying because I was so grateful. I was just so grateful for being alive. I was so grateful for having an opportunity to experience, just everything. Everything. I was so grateful for everything. And I've felt so happy. Not, and I don't even know, it's not even happy. I feel this transcendence, and I really feel like this opening has happened because of everything that I expressed to you guys. It's that living from the service of the choice, allowing yourself to be the vessel and the conduit for the higher consciousness and for super consciousness. Because the only way that can happen is if you're an open vehicle, and your open vehicle must, and not only an open vehicle, but to be aware of all that you are, right? Without a need or a want of anything, but not just that, it's acceptance. And there's no more control. There's no more control. And I felt the control just dissolve. It's just, and again, I did not think that I had control still at play, which is very interesting. But now I can see that I did. And every time a different layer opens up, we can see. And I just want to reflect that everything that comes through and everything that is reflected is an invitation to feel and to be the vehicle of balance, of flow, of peace, of acceptance, and to meet yourself in a space where your outer matches your inner in a way that you are fully acknowledging, aware of, and acceptance of, where there's not a consistent battle, there's not a consistent polarity, you're not consistently all over the place. That's what all of this is about. And if you just hang in there and you allow yourself an opportunity to choose differently, then you will be able to experience that all the time. And the choosing differently is how you serve. That is the service. Instead of recycling your choices consistently through that illusionary reality that you think you know. So if no one has anything, then I'll just go ahead and get started. If no one has anything they would like for me to just, reflect upon, channel into, no one has anything, then I will go to it. I'll start the activation. I love how there's two orbs. Or at least it looks like there's two from what I can see, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, that feels good on my fingers. Okay. All right, everybody's pretty quiet. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started. All right, just allow yourself to go ahead and drop in. Closing your eyes. Focusing on your breath. Oh, does it? It's pretty cool. I can't really see it. I mean, I can, but I can. And I know it shows up a little bit differently on for you guys than it does for me on this side. So just allowing yourself to connect first with your body, connecting with the sensations. And before we really get into this, let me send a text message really quickly to my dad. Hang on 1 second. Okay. And it's 111 right now. so 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 just allowing yourself to drop in, connecting to the physical first. If you need to, place a hand on your heart, maybe rubbing your fingers together, just really connecting to the sensation, locking yourself into the presence of the present moment, you're here now, and really anchoring yourself. Now, as we're moving through this, as I said, I'm going to be guiding everyone, and we're going to be going into deeper trance states. In deeper trance states, you really shouldn't have any thoughts coming in. Your mental field should not be able to break into. However, if it does, if you become, if something knocks you, if something knocks you out of the trance, um, just take a deep breath, come back in, and focus on the sound of my voice. Don't try to find the feeling of whatever is being reflected. Just focus on the sound of my voice and allow yourself to be lulled back down into a deeper state. And then from there, start focusing on the sensations. Now, if the sensations are present immediately, then allow that to deepen with you and guide you. But if you get knocked out, don't get frustrated. Just allow yourself to come back in. Just take a deep breath, come back in, focus again on the physical, deepening into the sound of my voice, and then allow yourself to gently drop in a little bit deeper, looking internally and sensing, using your senses to pick up on the sensations. Just like you're aware of your breath, you're aware of the feeling of the fingers touching together, you're also aware of the subtle energies always. You're always aware of them. You just have to allow yourself to experience that, meaning accepting that it's there, not trying to find it. Okay? And so we're just going to drop in, going a little deeper, focusing on the breath. Becoming aware of the feeling of your chest as it rises and falls. Maybe even aware of the sounds that are happening in my environment, the birds, the leaves rustling, the chainsaw in the background, in the distance. Just being aware of the different sounds. And allowing yourself to go deeper, like walking down a staircase. You're going into the heart. Each breath, you're walking down the staircase, coming into the heart, walking down from the mind. Becoming aware of the energy as it pulls. Feeling the sensations of the chest, the expansiveness and the slight, subtle sensations under the skin. And taking another deep breath. And coming into the anchor first of the root, anchoring, grounding. Grounding into the root. And then pulling down, going into the Earth Star, opening, activating Earth Star. And you guys, I know we're going into this, but the more that I feel into it, it's probably going to be really loud and stuff when my parents pull up. So I'm actually going to go ahead and shift into the cabin. As much as I really want to be out here in the sun, guiding you all, I just feel the pull to go into the cabin so that we can have, so that the sound and the noise can be, I apologize for that. I'm going to mute this and I'm going to move everything. Just please allow yourself to continue dropping in and relaxing deeper. And I am already guiding through the opening of the Earth Star as this is taking place. Okay. Thank you all for your patience. And we still have some sun, so that's amazing. Okay. Opening, activating our star. I'm just taking a deep breath. Opening Earth Star, allowing in the currents, allowing in the energy. Expanding Earth Star. Expanding Earth Star to engulf the physical, mental, and emotional bodies. Now let's expanding Earth Star to engulf out to the causal body. Expanding the orbit. And opening soul star, opening soul star. Opening, activating soul star, allowing in the currents. allowing in the currents, and expanding soul star out to the causal body. Earth star coming up, connecting to the heart. Soul star coming down, connecting to the heart, engulfing all the higher and lower chakras. And opening root, opening sacral, opening solar plexus, opening and expanding up through the heart, opening throat, opening third eye, opening crown. And just taking a moment, allowing the currents, allowing the energy to flow. And activating Earth Star orbit, activating Soul Star orbit, activating. Okay, I want to call down, I want to open, okay, I want to open, let's open and activate the Sun Star. Opening, activating Sun Star. Opening, activating Cosmic Star. Opening, activating Universal Star. Allowing it in, allowing in all the currents, allowing the rays, allowing in the currents. Connecting to these ranges of consciousness. And opening and activating Spirit Star. Anchoring through Spirit Star, anchoring through Earth Star. Now, one thing I'm just really aware of right now, which is so beautiful, is compared to the last few times coming into this, I feel a beautiful state of balance on masculine and feminine. Before, I'd been feeling one side as being smaller than the other, or this incomplete tear, if you will. It was like just that tear, but I can feel so much more balance and harmony between masculine and feminine, between left and right. I can really feel where, yeah, I can really feel where it's just so much more balanced. Okay, I want to call down a platinum golden grid into the field, into the auric field, and I want to call in auric reparations. So calling in the higher self and the higher planes, requesting and overseeing all auric reparations. And so repairing any tears, repairing any leaks or holes. And calling in reparation for the hairlines if they are cracked. Okay, yeah, there was definitely a few repairs that were needed there. So, okay, beautiful. Thank you. Taking a moment, allowing that to finalize, reviewing. Okay, that feels complete. Okay, now opening the channel. Receiving connection to higher and super levels of consciousness in preparation for moving into those experiences. So calling in through the gateway of the soul, calling in and requesting, overseeing from the higher self, the soul, and inviting in all 11 higher selves to come and assist and inviting those in, as well as inviting in all soul extensions, and opening up a collective synergy here of self coming together in this group, coming together in connection of the higher self, each connecting, we're all connecting on a higher self as the higher self. Calling in a platinum golden grid into the field. Calling the platinum golden grid into the mental plane, into the emotional plane, into the physical plane. And calling platinum golden grid into the room, into the space. Shielding the space, clearing, 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 calling for a clearing of the space, calling for a clearing of the room, clearing any thoughts or any thought forms that have been printed in the room that are energetically, vibrationally based in fear. So just allowing a clearing of all fear imprinted thoughts in the field, and calling in and requesting connection to Order of Melchizedek, to the primal universal order, okay, receiving that connection to the Order of Melchizedek, the primal universal order of lights through the universal star. Just feeling that energy coming in. Opening, 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 receiving. Opening, receiving, opening, receiving, opening, receiving. Receiving, opening, 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 opening. And standing in the central pillar, standing in the central pillar. I am standing in the central pillar. I am present in the pillar of light. I am present as the pillar of light. And what is here for us to clear? What is here in the nervous system, requesting reflection, and also calling in all higher planetary councils and cosmic universal councils, those overseeing these gateways, and also they're assisting the collective and the planet. Can I please receive clarity into that? Keystone. I'm hearing the keystone of Maldek. There seems to be a lot that is necessary. What I'm hearing, okay, so I feel like since we're gathered here, we're coming together as a powerful collective. Of course, we have those that have transitioned from Maldek, that were either there on deck, of course, as we know, or that were witnesses. We've gone through this. Keystone. Keystone. What is the keystone? Okay. There's a cord. I feel like we're being called since we're all together. There is a cord. Okay, I'm gonna go through some activation of some glyphs or codes, I guess. Codes. I guess we would say codes or glyphs. I'm hearing glyphs, keystones, activation points. I do feel like some of these are gateways and others are spoken vibrational activations. So opening, activating root. And dematerializing and activating lower mind. Disconnecting from the lower mind. Neural network is disconnected. Pulling out of lower mind. Pulling out of sub. Dematerializing, coming fully into the connection of consciousness, higher consciousness, connecting through the cord of super consciousness. There it is. Okay. Anchored into super consciousness, higher consciousness. Now requesting clarity once again into Maldek. Okay, opening, activating root, opening, 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 and calling in violet ray, calling in the violet ray and the violet ray emissaries, all higher councils of the violet ray. Violet ray packets coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in from the cosmic star. Integrating violet ray, integrating, 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 integrating violet ray packets, integrating, opening the nervous system, opening all neural pathways, calling violet ray packets into the nervous system, recalibrating. recalibrating, and clearing all lower connections, clearing, 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 opening, opening, clearing, 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 and calling the cord of Maldek into illumination, calling the root into illumination, calling the fear core programming, the running, calling this into illumination, calling this into illumination, clearing, opening, 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 and clearing, 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 and calling for a cutting of the fear cord connected to Maldek and the destruction, requesting through the order of Melchizedek, primal creator of Maldek, opening, 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 and clearing, 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 reconstructing the cord, calling for a reconstruction of the cord, calling for a reconstruction of the cord, calling in a reconstruction with higher filaments of light, higher filaments of light, higher filaments of light, creating a yatushku ate matushku ataku a 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 ku. Calling this cord of light into and through the root, anchoring into the Earth Star. Anchoring, anchoring, and opening this crystalline cord up through the root, and this crystalline cord is clearing any past life bloodline carriers, reconstructing, clearing it from the cellular, clearing it from the blood, clearing the pain imprints, clearing the fear of death, reconstructing, calling in golden diamond up through the cord, calling it platinum, calling it diamond, calling up and calling down, calling up through the Earth Star, calling down through the cosmic star. Weaving through the heart, weaving through the heart. and opening and expanding the gateway of the root. Opening, 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 opening. Expanding. Yasote u ascendi atasamaiku. Iti ate mateshu. Asata mate u. Opening the bloodline, opening, 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 clearing, opening and expanding, connecting the cord through the blood. The cord is now connected through the blood. It is anchored Earth star, activating orbit of the blood, opening the blood, opening the platelets, opening the blood. Activating the orbit. Merkaba active. Merkaba orbit active in the blood platelets. Blood platelets expanding into the geometrical form, taking their true shape and their true vibration. Activating and opening the blood, clearing, 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 clearing the imprints, clearing, 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 clearing the imprints. And opening, opening, opening. Now calling for an opening, opening the astral. First up, expand in through the etheric. Dematerializing the physical. Expanding into the etheric. Allowing the etheric to come in, to cleanse, to purify. Cleansing, purifying, and calling violet ray and violet ray emissaries connecting in through the astral, in through the etheric, beginning the process of recalibration. Clearing all lines. Man, my ears are itching. Clearing all lines of the astral and opening up through the astral plane, reviewing any memory banks. What is here, the astral plane? Yeah, I'm still hearing I'm hearing fear of death and destruction. And is this an imprint? Is this a collective imprint, individual or all? All, yeah. Okay. And so is this a removal of those pockets? Yes. How many, I'm just curious, how many layers? There are many, many, many. Infinite possibilities, outcomes, memories through many lifetimes. Hearing war on the body, war on the self. Okay, requesting from the violet ray emissaries. Requesting reflection and clarity. These packets in relation to Maldek or other individual collective experiences. Maldek, Mars, yes. Mu, Lemuria, Atlantis, the downfall of multiple civilizations, all imprinted here in the field. Okay, imprinted in the field of consciousness. Okay, requesting to release and remove the pockets or the cycles. Anywhere we hold connection from past life, cosmic planetary, current life, cosmic planetary. Okay, opening and receiving, calling down and calling in, inviting in through all higher selves, all higher self souls, overseeing planetary councils, higher cosmic light councils, and order of Melchizedek. Calling in the primal orders of light for the universe. And we are beginning to move through the release from these cords. Okay, opening and receiving the removal, requesting the removal of any imprints. And moving higher through the field of consciousness into the imprints of light and those imprints that we are creating right now of light. So moving through now the removal. Removing, releasing from the lower cords. Cutting these cords, releasing. And beginning the process, releasing from the physical plane. releasing, releasing and clearing, releasing, 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 and clearing. Where are these cords? I'm curious. Where are these cords coming in from? Where are they anchoring? Where in the field? Where in the field of consciousness are they? Where in the field are they anchored? Mental, emotional. Okay, moving into the mental plane. Moving into the mental body. Opening mental body. And violet ray emissaries, calling in violet ray emissaries, releasing, 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 and cutting any cords connected to the downfall of the civilizations. Recognizing that the downfall was actually an agreement from the people to reset the collective vibration. That everything happens through divine design, even if it's the war. It's the closing. It's the closing. War creates an opportunity on a mass scale for a closing because it is a reverberation of choice. Accepting, acknowledging this, and also calling in the clearing of the imprints of the war from the field. Releasing, violet ray coming in, clearing, purifying, violet ray emissary, order of Melchizedek working. And working as the higher self and the higher states of consciousness. Closing these cords out, closing, disconnecting, cutting the cords, and also releasing the imprints. Nervous system openly receiving, blood is openly receiving, the body is openly receiving hearing. And calling in golden, diamond, platinum, layering, layering, layering. Calling a cord in of availability of golden, diamond, platinum. Clearing mental plane, clearing mental body. The field of consciousness is clearing, 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 clearing. Yatari yatari mashi yatari masi yatari sokoya nari niasi yatari yasi yanamate ukoyate akia. Yate akia. Yate akia. Inasete tutututo yanaya so inasate ushiniyamane ate 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 yanana masete amatate 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 asiate 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 clearing 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 the field. Now opening into the emotional body. opening into the emotional body. Clearing. Clearing the imprints, clearing, calling for a release, releasing, releasing, clearing through the field, clearing all imprints of destruction, death, fear, all fear-based, clearing from the field, clearing from the nervous system, clearing and resetting. Once again, pulling out of the lower, pulling out of the lower connection. Pulling out of lower sub. Reconnecting through the core of consciousness, reconnecting to the higher, reconnecting through the higher gateways of the soul, reconnecting nervous system, connecting. Hippocampus, resetting, connecting into the core of the soul, connecting into the higher, connecting into super consciousness. Hippocampus, connecting into super consciousness. Frontal cortex, prefrontal lobe, connecting into. Spinal column, connecting into. Resetting, and recalibrating to the tone of super consciousness. Recalibrate or reconnecting. It is a celebration. Reconnecting, recalibrating. And calling in the currents of golden, diamond, platinum. Moving through the brain. Moving through the blood-brain barrier. Moving through the spinal column. And calling in crystalline compounds from the fifth dimensional astral etheric. Anchoring into the brain, anchoring into the nervous system, connecting into the memory field of the fifth dimension, beginning the exchange. Beginning the exchange, exchanging, allowing the vibration, the tone, the attunement of the fifth dimensional range of consciousness. And the density, the format of density. Moving through the different waves acclimating, 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 acclimating. And calling for movement, I would like to bring us up and through, moving through the higher stars, connecting to the different gateways, opening up through the soul star, connecting to the fifth dimensional etheric, receiving through the fifth dimensional etheric plane, receiving, receiving, very beautiful feeling. It's just like warm and feels like it's just a soft, cozy blanket. Acclimating to the fifth dimensional etheric. And acclimating to the fifth dimensional astral, coming into the fifth dimensional astral plane. Moving into the fifth dimensional astral plane. I'm going to feel everything coming into a more central point of movement, moving. Moving into the fifth dimensional astral. Receiving through fifth dimensional astral etheric. Nervous system. Openly receiving the tone and the attunement, receiving, 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 opening, 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 receiving. Bloodline, opening, receiving. Bloodline, openly receiving, calling in crystalline compounds, connecting into the blood. Activating the blood. Activating the blood with the magnetic currents, activating the blood, activating the blood. Also calling golden, diamond, platinum in through the blood. Nourishing the blood. Removing any toxins or heavy elements that are not necessary, any plastics or poisons that were received through the food or the environment, releasing, removing all of those, pulling all toxins from the blood. flushing the blood. Flushing the blood. And we're going to move through a Venusian gateway. So moving higher, going into, higher, higher, higher into the sun, going into, connecting into the central sun, gateway of the central sun, going higher into, moving into the sun star, moving into the sun star. Moving into the sun star, opening, 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 moving into the sun star, moving into the sun star, opening, 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 opening. And connecting, opening, 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 opening. And beginning to move higher into the cosmic star. Opening a gateway, opening a stellar gateway, opening. Opening. Calling in all higher councils of light. And calling in for a clearing. Clearing all cosmic lines that were carrying any lower implants or imprints. Clearing lower elementals. Clearing. And through the clearing, pulling higher through the universal star. Opening, wow, opening. And clearing. Clearing. Moving higher. Opening the channel. Calling in the Christed flame, receiving. Wow, that's some really intense pulling. Removing all alien implants. Removing, these are in the psychic field. The psychic field of the collective. Manipulating the movement, manipulating the speaking, manipulating the thinking. Wow. I'm calling in more light, just calling in Calling in more light. Calling in more light. Releasing, releasing, releasing. Calling in more light. Releasing, 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 releasing. Higher self releasing these. Soul releasing these. Releasing these implanted realities. Releasing the implanted realities, releasing the implanted thoughts, beliefs. Now, please, please remember that this is not, you're not the victim of anything. Well, when you go into victim mentality, you become available because you are manipulating. And I'm actually hearing that this was an agreed upon. Those in the collective that chose to believe at any time allowed it in. Anytime you choose to believe in these things, you allow it. You allow it. If you believe in evil, then anything that can manipulate that belief will manipulate it. But it's always you. It's just it's like an influencing vibration. Oh, okay. Yeah, I hear that it was, oh, okay. So what I'm hearing is that when people are in those states, sometimes other life forms want to understand the intensity and the power of such fear and belief. And so they come in through that line. And they put in, it's like information receiving chip. It's like trying to understand, trying to read the field, right? Trying to understand what this is. And then also seeing and taking advantage of, shall we say. Yeah. The opportunity to manipulate because they don't fully understand. It's not coming through, shall we say, an incarnate vessel. So it's a little bit different. They don't hold power over you. It's nothing like that. But that energy can work through your field and influence your thoughts. Or, yeah, I am feeling that. It's as always, it's an opportunity to see, will you choose to consistently believe it, right? Moving higher into the light, moving higher. I would like more clarity, requesting more clarity into the alien. What was the alien implant or alien? What was that massive removal? An experiment. An experiment on the sub-realities of illusion, thought, manipulation of matter, manipulation of words on reality. But it doesn't think for you. You think for yourself. But I feel just like with the government, there's influencing vibrations. They're a part of that, aren't they? Yep. That's the agreement in the contract. Okay. So anytime you agree to fear, yep, there it is. Anytime you agree to fear, you agree to the control and you agree to the manipulation. Because fear is a projection of the mind, and the only way that this comes in is through the psychic field of the mental, the chatter. Yeah. Okay. So opening through the heart, clearing through the heart, clearing through the heart, moving, opening, and calling in the Christed flame, calling in, clearing, clearing the field, clearing the body, clearing the mind, clearing the mental body, clearing the physical body, clearing the emotional body. Engulfing in the flame. The flame is engulfing the material. Matter is governed by the mind. However, superconsciousness and higher consciousness is atomic. Different planes, different realities. So calling for a shift fully onto, no, we are on the atomic plane. Yes, we're on the atomic plane. Matter is very heavy and dense. Lifting from the material matter, lifting, clearing, clearing, moving through a flux field. And calling for alignment, requesting exotonial alignment. Okay, beginning exotonial alignment. Exotonial alignment, physical, mental, and emotional, planetary. I just heard defiance of the law. Gravity, defiance of the law of gravity. So rising out of the law of gravity, which is matter, which is mind, giving everything fully over to super consciousness. Redefining. Redefining. Redefining the laws through the nervous system. Redefining the laws through the nervous system, accepting the atomic, accepting the universal, accepting the universal law, the law of oneness, the law of unity, and receiving that governance, the law that is not bound by man, but is a part of the creation of all. It is not bound by man, but it is created through man. Moving through different planes of reality, allowing our body, allowing our system, allowing everything to adapt, adopt, and remember the different planes that are not governed by that which we think we know. Receiving through the different force fields, the different universal planes, moving through different gateways, different force fields, different flux fields. All meridians are open. All systems are open. The body is fully opening and receiving. The vessel is opening. The vessel is open and receiving. Toning and tuning, receiving a new attunement. Moving, 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 pulling, 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 moving. Moving through an interdimensional gateway. This flux field is surgically reconstructing with vibrational precision, is what I heard. Putting the puzzle pieces back together through grand universal design. So if you feel your body moving, if you feel your hands, your arms moving, reconstructing through the cranial nerves. Yes, reconstructing through the cranial nerves. Reconstructing, creating new pathways. Creating new pathways. creating new pathways. These are stargates. And receiving the reconstructed stargates. I'm hearing this is an Andromedan, aligning to the supercell, super consciousness. Moving through, redesigning through the pineal, pituitary, moving through the gateway, moving through the gateway. I'm hearing this is like a wormhole. Receiving the reconstruction of time through the organic matter, receiving the reconstruction of time through the subatomic atomic, receiving the reconstruction of time, receiving, receiving. Receiving, receiving, receiving. Now opening, 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 opening through the wing space, opening, opening through the base of the neck, opening, opening the spine, opening through the shoulders, opening the gateways of the shoulder blades, opening the gateways of the shoulders, opening the gateways of the temples, opening the gateways at the base of the neck, opening the gateways at the base of the spine, opening the gateways in the cervix, or the area of the cervix, opening the gateway at the top of the skull and the back of the skull, opening the gateways in the base of the feet, opening the gateways in the palm of the hands, and calling for a reconstruction of time through the gateways, reconstructing to the highest field of unity, harmony, and balance, to the highest planetary accommodation, the highest planetary, the gateway of ascension, the gateway of fourth density, fourth dimension, fifth density, fifth dimension, the dissolving of illusionary time, anchoring, connecting, attuning, and attuning to the higher gateways of time, attuning, 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 attuning. Okay, attunement complete. Cranial nerves, vagus nerves. Receiving and having received the attunement. Okay, coming into placement. Opening the crown, releasing some of that pressure, opening the masculine, opening the masculine, opening the feminine, softening, decompressing the nervous system, decompressing, decompressing, relieving any pressure in the nervous system. That feels good. Decompressing, releasing all pressure in the nervous system, decompressing the blood, releasing any pressure in the valves and the veins or in the gateways of the nerves, releasing all pressure. Releasing all pressure, receiving a final attunement. And calling in the violet ray. Moving through the nervous system, moving through the skin. Just opening, oxygenating the blood. Clearing, decompressing. And calling in the red ray. Soothing the muscles, calling the red ray into the muscles, into the bones, into the organs. Bringing oxygen, H3O2. Bringing in all nutrients on a cellular level from the vibration of light. Feeding the body, feeding the cells, giving the nourishment to the cells, giving the nourishment to the image, to the body. And calling light into all areas that have required reconstruction. Oh, another big movement here. Opening. Releasing any particle debris. Calling in through the hairlines, requesting harmonization, balance. Ah, man, just moved through. Really, that's another really intense gateway. That's a crown. Is that a crown gateway? Higher. That's a heart, crown, third eye, throat gateway. And we're pulling through there. Okay. Moving higher. One final pull through the hearts, pulling through the hearts, calling in a showering of light. Pulling through the heart, pulling through the heart. Pulling through the heart. Pulling through. Pulling through. All right, coming into our anchor. Opening, opening, opening. Opening. And calling for one final alignment. Alignment and balancing of the mental plane. Alignment, balancing. Alignment and balancing to the mental plane. And decompressing. And dematerializing. Just taking a moment to acclimate. Accepting the safety and security of the moment. Nervous system is undergoing a major, major, major reset right now. Nervous system resetting, heart resetting, all systems resetting. Hippocampus, I keep hearing, is undergoing a major reset. Aligning the spine, aligning the shoulders. Aligning the spine, aligning the shoulders, aligning. And allowing any trauma responses to move through the nervous system. Allowing any and all trauma nervous system responses to move through. Releasing all knots of stress, worry. Releasing and aligning, releasing and aligning, releasing and aligning. Acclimating to the new higher reality, the vibrational tone.
And filling up with light, filling up with light. Anchoring into the image that is balanced, anchoring into the image that is aligned, that is symmetrical, that is harmonized, that is carrying the tone and the image of balance and harmony. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. And opening that third eye crown a little bit, opening, receiving. There we go, allowing it, there we go, allowing it to come in, receiving. Letting it all come in. Filling up, filling up, filling up with the higher lights atomic. Coming in through the shoulders. Shoulders are gateways. They're always moving. If you feel your shoulders locking, it's because you probably have a tear or a frozen moment, something that's freezing. I've noticed that recently. As we're dematerializing and we're shifting out of lower mind matter into higher super atomic. Yeah, we have to open and request and allow that to come in. Yeah, definitely feel that filling up. Pouring in. Pouring in. Expanding into all areas that are frozen. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you for receiving. I'd love to hear how you're feeling. Did not mean to disconnect. I'm going to turn the heater on for a second and just allow everyone to just kind of come back in. And if you'd like to reflect anything, you're more than welcome. If not, and just to enjoy the moment for a second. I'm getting to the point of standing up and plugging the heater up. I love the shape of that orb. Look at that. It's very geometric. It's very geometric because of the window. I love it. Okay, let me plug up the heater. Oh, standing up for a moment feels good too. Yeah, so sleepy. I feel you. You're so very welcome, Selma. Yeah, no worries, Yvonne. No worries. No worries.
the experiment. So I would like to reflect on that a little bit because that was something, um, okay, so I'm going to go into some reflection of that because it's interesting because it goes against everything that um, no, I don't want to say that. From where I've been operating from a space that's no longer in fear, I wasn't accessing, um, hang on one second, you guys. Hang on one second. I'm gonna hang on one second. Hang on one second. One second. I am gonna reflect on that, but hang on one second. Hey, Dad, I asked Mom to let Bruiser out. Dad. Hang on, you guys. Bro, don't bark. Dad, don't let him bark. Okay, you guys, sorry about that. I could tell I needed to go help my dad real quick. Um, so, okay. Thank you all for your patience on that. So this experiment, it's interesting because a few months ago I was receiving, yeah, I'm feeling that. I could feel, I'm not for sure if it was as intense for you guys as it was for me, but my entire neck went back and I could feel like all through here was being sucked up and out. And this just, it was very, very, whew, very powerful. Like I was just stuck. And there was a lot. Oh, hang on. Excuse me. There's a lot of resetting happening. A lot. So I kept hearing alien implants, and at first I didn't go into it because I was like, what, at this level where we're at, I was very intrigued, but at the same time, I wanted to be sure. because okay, I want to, this is, yeah, yeah, exactly like toffee, like being pulled. But I wanted to be very careful because when you go into a fear state and you believe that something is attacking you, because that's what I want to be very careful as well with your experiences, Salma, because you actually are manipulating yourself. the ex- the experimental, these alien implants, a lot of these were agreed upon before, before you came into this incarnation, to see how is reality, ugh, I can't even talk, how is reality manipulated through thought, how is reality manipulated through fear, because fear is a manipulating energy and it's only created through the mind. It's a very, it doesn't, it's not real. It's none of it's real. And it's interesting because I can see how all these different experiments were to see, oh my goodness, my stomach. Oh, there is a collective fear core program that goes very deep. Oh, I don't know if you guys feel that, but I feel that in the stomach. Um, mm, wow. Hang on. This sphere core programming for the collective goes very deep. And it's implemented. So we also have it happening on a government level where governments are highly aware, and so these realities that we go into of fear, of sickness, so like COVID is a reality based on fear. The flu is a reality based on fear. They feed it into the control mechanisms of TV. They get everyone believing it, and then they infiltrate the reality. And so, and this is why going into fear is a tool of manipulation, because you manipulate yourself by accepting it to begin with. If you accept any belief in fear, then you are open to receiving all realities that are there to support that. And it is a creation of your mind. It's all a creation of your mind, every bit of it. And so coming in through the psychic plane, through an agreement by creating a reality, you agree to all the different realities, which are all fake. They're of course they're fake, but I mean, they're not real. None of it's real. But to our system, because the information has been fed into the system, it creates it. The mind makes it very, very real. Um, and these are lines that have been being fed in. I'm just moving through some receiving. Being fed in to see how a collective can be controlled through fear. This is why, watching and listening to TV doesn't serve. It's not a good thing, um, especially if it's the news or anything. They're all running on the same control frequencies. Even movies, even movies, even movies are all a part of it. They're feeding you with the reality. They're supporting the reality even of Lemuria, of Atlantis, like Aquaman, and people go into those realities believing that they're true. A lot of people are like, oh, my guides told me to go watch Aquaman. Yep. Hmm. Wasn't guides. That's why anyone that operates in the system of business, I can see this. Mm. moving through some stuff. One moment. Being fed information. Yes. You know what? It's just like in the Matrix, in the source room, where all the different realities show all the different reflections of him in different moments and all the different ways that he could respond through all the different realities. And now I can see it's even more clear as to why, my goodness, it's even more clear as to why we've been going through the process of understanding our behaviors. Because if you don't understand who you are, then you follow anyone and anything, and you will follow without any consideration. You just blindly follow because you're so desperately seeking to find a cure or to find help or to find a solution. You're so desperately seeking, or you're so desperately seeking to belong, also part of the manipulation, because you don't stand in your sovereignty. And now I'm being shown where I made a post like a week or so ago. I don't know the time frame, but in the post I said, this is why I don't follow the spiritual communities with all love and respect, but I allow myself to discover as a gateway. I'm not gonna just do and follow just because people are saying they see dragons, just because people are in these realities. And that's what I received a few months ago, is these holographic realities are being inserted. Because a lot of the spiritual community still doesn't know who they are. And they're falling into that. Yeah, can see that. Yep, it's like exactly. Yep, and that's that grid, that grid is the illusion and the glamour. Like, this is where we talk about where we meet people in the image we have created. That's what that is. We don't see beyond the image because we don't see ourselves. We are trying so hard to connect. We want this person to do this. We need this, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need this. We're connecting, but we're not seeing. Here comes another one. So these holographic realities are inserted through the psychic. This is, if you guys recall, I said that our full psychic, in terms of our full senses, they're not, shall we say, accessible in the highest and purest until we reach fifth dimension. Or actually, when you ascend. What I felt, and I want to reflect this, is when I was disconnecting from the lower sub into the higher, I was literally in one place, and then I moved to another place, and then I became the antenna. I could actually feel where the subconscious and the subconscious lower psychic was holding me, and then I could feel where I moved, and then I became free flowing. I went from subconscious matter, subconscious lower, into super higher, where I'm at, where we're at right now, where I'm at right now. and therefore everything is following that line, and it was two different planes. I could feel I was locked because the subconscious holds you. Yeah. And it's interesting because we think that we need this, like we do, the subconscious is wonderful and all, but it also determines our reality on the lower planes. As we're moving into the higher planes, I don't feel we don't need a subconscious any longer. So the more that a person connects, and the subconscious, now I want to review that. The subconscious is the storehouse. It gives you all the information instead of super consciousness. So subconsciousness is your information. It's giving you all the data, right? If you have a question, it's going to give you an answer. Okay? Super consciousness is the same, but different. Super consciousness drops in and guides. Subconscious, and it's also, super consciousness is aware. It's very aware. It's a reflection of your own awareness. Subconscious isn't. It's just handing data. Completely different. Yeah, completely different. And your entire body can function. I know it's running on the subconscious right now. That's the material plane. But as we consistently connect in through super consciousness and ascend, we will no longer require that. And that's that's what's happening right now. So yes, this is written really amazing. And for me, it even actually kind of surprised me. Um, because I almost, like I said, it came up. And I was just like, I want to be cautious about going into that. I don't want to, at first I almost didn't, but it was so intense once it began. It was like, no, there was no deny. And actually right now, oh, there's another one. This is pulling up through the root. Oh, which one? Where is this? What is this? Super consciousness, gateway, molding. The experiment was to see how the body functions and performs, all the different programs. It's programs. That's all it is. It's just like the Matrix. I will say that is probably one movie that was going again. It was trying, that movie came in through the system as a reflection of the system. Right. That's the dream. That would be like the subconscious. That's the subconscious, is what Inception is. This is, and that is a dream within a dream within a dream. And you can go through different layers of your dream state and affect other layers. However, this is, yeah, and this is a little bit different, but that's a good one. Inception, the Matrix is quite literally, that's what this is, programs, all different programs at play. And the interesting thing about it is that it's not that serious. That's what's so interesting about the manipulation through fear, is that because people take the illusion so serious. When you're in fear, everything is serious. When you're in doubt, when you're in denial, when you go into those programs, that's the only reality that exists. And you choose to accept it. You choose the judgment, you accept the judgment, you accept the program, you accept the reality, and you're running on a subconscious level, where the only thing you can receive is a stream of data that is going to reflect to you what you're most afraid of, what you're most in doubt of, what you're most in judgment of, because that's what you are in the reality of creating. And so your subconscious is giving you all the data to create the reality. I might actually end up making this one public because of the collective, because of this. And again, when it comes to the spiritual community, I'm not speaking against it. It just, we're talking about a collective of information, a collective field, right? Um, it's a collective field, and therefore we are in that field of data. And this is what I was receiving and it was very interesting because it began with the field of consciousness. And the field of consciousness, I was intrigued by that because I did not, of course I held no expectation, but I didn't know that the field, until that moment, I wasn't able to be aware that the depth of the imprints that the field held. And you know it's been, that was really intense. And the field of consciousness is, even consciousness is that, let talk about like money being the middleman. Consciousness is the middleman between the lower and the higher. So the field of consciousness is a very malleable field, but it holds infinite. And that's what I was seeing, was infinite through the astral. Infinite opportunities. And the ones that are closing, of course, are those of war and death and destruction. Many people, okay, so many people are aware of this. What I am seeing through the field of the psychic is, even with that awareness and that understanding, they're still going, but are they going into false realities? Yes, I'm still feeling false realities of influence. They're influenced by the thought patterns. They're influenced by the behaviors. They're influenced by the belief systems, which of course are all systems of programs. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And where the highest influence comes from are social media apps. So I can see, yeah, a lot happening in the shoulders. Um, Absolutely, Yvonne. Yeah, so and I do feel that's what a lot of these lines, these Mayan lines, it even goes into the celebration of the portal dates, because everyone can only meet those portal dates in as far as the image, the belief, the worship, the program of worship. Wow. I can see all the worship of all the different things. Wow. The ceremonies, the worship. Oh, there's another. Oh, the feminine side. Wow. Now coming up to the masculine. Wow. The worship, the belonging, all the different programs, all the different realities around the Mayan lines. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yup. Feeling that Sama. Being pulled through the shoulders. right now. Oh my goodness, that's, and I'm feeling that through the sacral too, the moon again. Wow. Moon ceremonies, worshippers of time is what I'm hearing. Worshippers of time. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yep, Becca, I felt it. Worshippers of time, worshiping the cycles, devoting, devotees to cycles. They never find themselves. They're always moving from one thing to the other, one program to the next, one space of belonging to the next. Wow. Wow. If I do make this public, that's probably going to trigger some people unless they're really open to receiving the understanding of this. Oh, just feeling it. There comes another big pull, another big, uh, there it comes, removal. Oh, wow. I'm pulling up, pulling up, pulling up, central sun. Uh, oh, oh, oh. Wow. Oh, wow. Mm, 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 mm. No one wants to stop cycles. Exactly. Oh, I feel like I'm probably one of the very few that does not follow that. I don't know. Everyone that I know, like, and that's why a lot of people don't gravitate. My gravitational pull is pulling away from. My gravitational pull is pulling away from the worship. Yes. Good. No worship. And I can feel where that was previously there. Yeah. Uh, yes. Yes. Full permission, releasing, 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 releasing from all worship cycles, all time cycles, all cycles of worshiping, moon cycles or sun cycles, releasing the worship to the sun, releasing the worship to the moon, releasing. Oh, yes. Going from one program to the other. That's exactly what it is. Uh, I'm so grateful that we stayed here and we're going through this just like last time, because there's always so much more. Like, we go through the receiving and we go through the process. I feel like the reflection afterwards is absolutely important. It's absolutely necessary for us to go through. Um, I'm gonna plug up my battery so that we can, if you check your battery, you guys, real quick before we, because I know there's a little bit more here. Check your battery. Where's my bag? And I'm gonna come a little bit closer here. Okay. All right. Plugging in my battery. Mm. There's just been this that constant pinch being more being more open. Oh, yeah, being more open to the masculine, accepting of my masculine, that I am my feminine, but also too there's a worship there. Maldek was a sun work. Yeah, okay, so they were heavy in the technology of well, nuclear, harnessing nuclear power. Okay, so opening, so that's what it is. That's what the keystone. I kept hearing keystone. I know Keystone Earth is from a movie, but I feel like that was a reference point. Okay, yeah, the coming from Maldek to here on a soul level, on an extension level. Some were relocated to other planets, but the majority came here. Okay, opening, whoa, opening and clearing all sun worship lines, all masculine worship lines, clearing all sun masculine worship lines. Wow. Oh wow, Sama. That's amazing. My arm is being pulled behind me, and that feels so good. Oh, it's like hurting, but it feels so good. It's being pulled. Like I'm not even, it's my arm is pulling up, like this energy is pulling me. I'm definitely not holding my arm up. Opening, 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 and clearing, 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 clearing the sun, yeah, clearing. Uh, uh, Opening, clearing, releasing all sun worship programs, releasing all sun worship programs. Mm. Releasing all sun worship programs, releasing all masculine majority worship, like the blah, masculine worship, masculine sun obsession, releasing, releasing, releasing the devotion, releasing the programs of devotion, worship, loyalty. Oh, releasing, removing, releasing, removing, 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 removing from the nervous system. Uh, and releasing from the feminine moon worship, feminine loyalty, removing all programs of time worship, sun worship, moon worship, feminine and masculine. Okay, I'm hearing activating Keystone Earth. Activating. Removing all programs. Removing all programs of defiance. That was the defiant. Yeah, removing all defiance programs. Defiance of the mother and defiance of the father. Oh, those are really heavy in the shoulder blades. Removing. For me, it's majority of the feminine. Removing the programs, removing the control programs. Oh, that one's really heavy in the shoulders and spine. Absolutely, Yvonne. Worshiping, remember when we went through the process of understanding the worshiping of the images, right? Where we were in understanding our connection to the masters and the guides and everyone that worships, and they go into these worshiping of the dragons and worshiping of the angels, because we say we see the image, say we see them, we say we see them. But we have to remember that we are still a collective bound by psychic distortion. And when you rise into higher realms of consciousness, everything is unseen. It is vibration. It is an experience of vibration. I mean, I'm not saying that people aren't seeing things, but I'm saying that, and of course, everything that it is exists, even in the distorted versions and in the programs and in the realities, they're created after the existence of something, right? The existence of it. Just like order of Melchizedek is a universal order of light, but it is not in form. Now there is a form on the cosmic level, and it is a group of yes, it is a known as the Brotherhood in White, or yeah, Brotherhood in White. It's actually going to make it, but I want to reflect that that brotherhood, it's not just man, it's not just, yeah, it's, we say brotherhood, but I feel like that's just a term. They're neither or. They are what they are. I'm hearing they're a form of cosmic source thought that serves on the universal. They are pliable through the field of source consciousness, but they only operate through the field of source consciousness through the higher super, because they do not incarnate into lower form. Moving through some reconstruction. Wow, just feeling so much lighter. Wow, so much lighter. So much lighter. I'm still feeling a pinch in my neck. It's very, why is that? It's just, I'm just curious why it's still there. I just saw Akandara's message. I didn't get to read all of it, but it popped up talking about the pinch in the right side. And I know we've all been feeling that pinch in the right side. Okay, I'm hearing come together a conscious thought, focusing on that right side. Removing the implant of thought that has been aware of this. It's almost it's like it's reverberating back. It's just echoing through time. So pulling that thought and that reverberation out, pulling it out through the membranes. Removing all echoes. Removing all echoes. Removing all echo chambers. Removing all echo chambers. These are chambers of thought form. And anytime anyone focuses on that same thing, it echoes through time. And it just continues echoing. So pulling that up and out and impregnating that space with light, with nothingness. Calling light in, calling light in, removing the echo chamber, and placing thought forms there of light, of peace, of prosperity, of joy, abundance, the feelings of freedom, of expansion, echoing through time, the spaciousness of change, of consistent change, of nothing being the same, of everything always in motion, everything always moving, nothing remaining the same, removing all removing all echo chambers and all programs connected to the echo chambers, which hold a collective thought form. Removing a collective thought form in the echo chamber. Calling in a higher light imprint or implant, one of service through unity and fifth dimensional expansion and experience, one that is holding itself outside of matter within the atomic, subatomic, not connected to anything but the internal source self. Connected to the sovereign internal. The only time anything is active through collective thought is by invitation and intention. No collection without permission. Releasing all programs and echo chambers where the data was collected and then reflected back. It's interesting. That's a new one, but I'm feeling it. Reviewing all areas where data has been stored and held. Reflecting the moment through time. And releasing these from the physical material plane. Releasing these from the mental material plane. Releasing, 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 releasing from the mental material, releasing, 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 disconnecting and releasing. These are pulled up, out, disconnected, removed completely from the mental plane. Any and all psychic interference is shut down. Calling in a shield of light, golden platinum light, shielding the auric field, engulfing the senses, dulling the receptors and resetting. Resetting with the imprint and implant of higher consciousness. A moment. Something was happening. Disconnecting from distractions. Resetting. And removing fully from the mental plane and removing from the emotional plane and the emotional body. Wow. There was a big one from the emotional. Wow. Removing. Gosh, that's just being suctioned. Removing. Whew. Wow. Okay. There was a lot removed today. Wow. Wow. So just gonna open up, just opening up the energy, opening, moving the energy a little bit. Okay, decompressing nervous system again. Decompressing. And just flushing and resetting. Flushing. Man, these gateways are intense. They feel amazing. Thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I don't know if anyone's still here. I hope your batteries didn't die. This one I had to plug mine up. Yeah, there's a reset happening right now. And just opening up the neck, opening up the neck, opening up the base of the skull, opening up the shoulders, opening up the crown, third eye, just opening, softening, decompressing, 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 opening, opening and releasing, opening and releasing, opening and releasing. How's everyone feeling after that? If you're still with me, I don't know if anyone's still here, if your batteries are good. Mm, check my battery, speaking of which. Okay, my dear. Yeah, I would, if you're not able to, like, if you're getting ready for work and stuff, then I would just definitely come back, and give yourself an opportunity to, just go do what you need to do. You don't have to, you know, try to do a bunch of stuff. Give yourself an opportunity to go take care of your stuff for work, and then you can always come back and replay. And if you're already there, just allowing yourself to come back and tune in when you're able. Yes, absolutely intense. I'm just massaging. I am feeling okay. So let's see, with the removal of all of this, you know, our bodies, everything is resetting. Nervous system is resetting. Everything, um, everything coming into a different point of manifested experience, and giving ourselves an opportunity to allow that. So if you, I know some have to go into work, others don't. If you do have an opportunity to just be with this and rest and stuff, wonderful. I do feel, I can tell you right now that, man, I feel so much lighter. Um, I feel that tomorrow, okay, tomorrow I'm being taken to the muscles, tendons, joints, fatty tissues of the body. These all hold imprints, information. We're going to go through. We're going to be weeding out the deep-seated. I'm actually feeling where, yeah, tomorrow is going to be focusing on that. And another big sun star. There's going to be a lot. You guys, whatever's here is whatever's here. So Let's just go be with this. Thank you all for receiving. Again, always so grateful to go through this process with you all. Um, Tomorrow I'm planning on bringing one through, so it'll probably be around the same time, if you're able to make it. So just plan on that. And if you guys have a different availability, just drop it into the group and let me know. Um, if not, then we'll go through it again tomorrow. I do feel like this is, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely going to be. I don't really have anything else that should impede upon these for the next few days. So we're going to go through. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I'm hearing we're going to be going through different levels and layers of the program removal. The yeah, there's just so many more layers to this. So we're going to go through that tomorrow. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you, beautifuls. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful to go through this with you. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. So, until then, enjoy your day. Adonai.